Welcome back, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one. I want to revisit my top 7 players of all time because people, they're getting mad about this. They keep asking crazy questions. I mean, I wouldn't call them crazy, but I explained the last time I made this video why these people are ranked where they are. Okay, there's no hate against Kobe, there's no hate against LeBron or in Duncan. These are the facts, and I'm going to explain why these guys are ranked where they are. Okay, once again, but let's talk about Kobe and let's talk about LeBron. Okay, look, the reason why LeBron is where he is right now because he has more statistical titles, more MVPs, uh, more Finals MVPs, and more championships than Kobe, right? If it comes out later on that LeBron was taking PEDs, he's out at number 6. He's out. He's out. He look, dude's out at top 75. But we got to go with what we got now, right? And this is based off of, again, championships, finals MVPs, and statistical titles, right? Statistical titles is about how good you were at blocks, steals, rebounds, um, maybe points, whatever, for the whole season. You led the whole league, right? And there's some dudes like Wilt Jordan who had 2 statistical titles in 1 year. So don't try to tell me Kobe was better than Wilt or Jordan or Kareem, who had two statistical titles in 1 year. Okay? Now let me tell you about Kobe, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Kobe had a chance to go to, I think, the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets, right? Or some other team. I thought it was the Hornets. He declined to go to get drafted, right? He went to the Lakers. He went to the Lakers and sat on the bench. They traded him to the Lakers and he sat on the bench. Now, if he would have went to Charlotte, I think it was, or wherever he was gonna, wherever he got drafted, he would have started right away. But he decided to go over there and start his legacy on the bench. Okay, and maybe he would have went to Charlotte. I don't even know who was on that team at the time. I thought Alonzo Mourning was already in Miami, and Larry Johnson, I thought he was already in New York. Maybe, I'm not for sure, but that's how tough the NBA was back then. That he wasn't going to come in and be start over Eddie Jones and I forget who the other Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel. He just wasn't going to do it. So even if LeBron would have went to the Lakers, he would have not have started neither. It was a different NBA back then, right? If you think LeBron was going to get on the Lakers and start, or most teams, right, with good talent, it wasn't going to happen because look at LeBron in the early 2000s when he went to Cleveland. Okay, he missed the playoffs 2 years in a row, right? And one of them was with the All-Star teammate in 2005. Him and Elgauskas made the All-Star team, right? And LeBron shot 41% his first year, okay? And he's a forward. And he shot like 60, 70% of his shots in the paint in his rookie year. So there's no way you can be shooting like that, 41%, and you shooting 61% of your shots or more in the paint, and you're only shooting 41% in the 90s. No way. You're not gonna you're not gonna be starting. Okay, it's all nonsense. What LeBron fans think that LeBron would have did in the 90s, it wouldn't work. Okay, Kobe came into the league as the next Michael Jordan. That's how big the hype was, and he had to sit on the bench. if I'm not mistaken, didn't I had to look at that draft. I think Allen Iverson came in the league that in that same draft, and I think Ray Allen, if I'm not mistaken, they both started. So look, maybe Kobe would have started if he would have went to the Hornets or wherever he was going to get drafted to, but he was not going to get drafted to a good team and start over nobody. And like I said, LeBron couldn't do it neither. Okay, they wouldn't even let LeBron get on the floor in the Olympics. In the Olympics, that they got curb stomped by Argentina, Manu Ginobili. That was the only notable star on that team, and Manu was a six man in the NBA. Okay, so if you think that the look, that same Kobe team, right? They got rolled by the Jazz 2 years in a row. One year, I think they got swept with Nick Van Exel, Shaq, Eddie Jones, Kobe, a whole slew of guys. They got swept one year, I think in '98 or '97, I forget, but they got beat in back to back years by the Jazz. That's how tough that era was. They didn't play based on athleticism. Jordan didn't really have no great athleticism per se in the second three-peat. These dudes was playing off of defense and fundamentals. People don't understand how basketball used to be. Nobody's just going to let you chuck up threes back in the 90s just because they do in this era. And LeBron knows that when he first came into the league. Nobody was going to let you chuck up threes in that era neither. They will be all over you. There's no space. You got to make your own space. Like I said, Reggie Miller used to come off of three screens and still have a hand in his mug. So, like I said, if we have any proof that LeBron was using PEDs, he's out of the top 75, and I'm putting Kobe number 6. But check this out. People are still mad because Kobe should be 1 or should be 2 or should be in the top 5. Okay, do I think Kobe might be a better player than Magic Johnson? Bill Russell? Maybe so. But we're talking about NBA career. We're not talking about one-on-one ball. We're talking about what happened on the floor. And a lot of people are going, championships, that's a team accomplishment. Yeah, it is. But these are the guys, right, who led their team. Kobe never led his team to 3 straight championships. He was part of it, but it was Shaq. That was Shaq's team. When Kobe came, Kobe was on the bench. Okay, we could say the same thing for Pippen. Pippen played a different role, right? Pippen was a facilitator. He was a good defender. He played a different role to help Michael Jordan win those championships, but he wasn't the leader of the team, right? He helped Jordan win 6 championships. So are we going to put Pippen on here? No. Because he has no statistical accolades. No, none, right? He never led a team. We know Kobe went back to back, Dage da. But I mean, Kobe had a chance to be on this list if he would have won more statistical accolades, right? Because LeBron only has 2 statistical titles in 20 seasons. So Kobe from, I don't know, when he left Shaq, 2005, 2006, all the way until 2013, I think he got hurt, right? Or 2012, he had a chance to get more statistical titles, but he let a lot of these guys win statistical titles. I guess it wasn't like, I think, I'm not sure all the guys, but I think Carmelo Anthony won scoring title. I think Kevin Durant won scoring title a few times. LeBron won it in 2008. You know, we think of Kobe as this potent scorer, right? Which he was, but he couldn't win the scoring title but twice. I mean, that's good, I guess. Durant has more. James Harden has more. If I'm not mistaken, I thought Russell Westbrook has more. So, and he still only has one more than LeBron James, right? So this is how I judge it for now. These guys right here, they led their team the whole time they was on the team. Nobody ever led them. Well, I guess you could say Russell, right? A few years, but you could you could clearly say that in six championships at least Russell was the leader. And I'm going to keep him right here where he needs to be. Because if they look, if they counted blocks, you know how many statistical titles he would have in Defensive Player of the Year. I know Wilt would have more, but this guy led in a different way. His last championship, the Lakers owner taunted the public and taunted all fans, NBA fans, and he was already celebrating. He had the balloons up in the rafters. I think it was in Game 7, and nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying he was bragging about how he was going to win this game and they was going to celebrate. And Bill Russell got wind of this. In no way they should have won and beat the Lakers. They had Wilt, they had Elgin Baylor, they had Jerry West. It was over. Wilt came out there, kind of choked it up, and Russell and them pulled it out because he was offended. And I think maybe, maybe Russell would have let off a little bit because maybe he wanted to see his friend Wilt win a championship. But when he heard that, that might have been the greatest championship they ever won, was the 11th championship that Bill Russell took personal. Okay, so again, the criteria when we put all these together, championships, finals MVPs, statistical titles, and of course, Defensive Player of the Year. I know that's not a statistical title, but it's another award. That's a trophy. And people's they don't. There's no award for steals. It's a title. You were the best that year. I think. I don't even know, but this is what it is, bro. I take statistical titles as something real big. I take that as your hustle on the court. Okay, this is why people like Luka and maybe Joker, they might not ever be in my top 5, right? Because it don't look like Joker is ever going to win a statistical title. And that's why Duncan is not in my top 5, right? Bird can't be in my top 5. He's a great player, all-around player, but he never won one statistical title. You got dudes like Kareem, Jordan, and Wilt winning 2 statistical titles in 1 year, multiple years. And if I'm not mistaken, Wilt, look, bro, if they would have counted blocks, you're talking about he would have won 3 statistical titles in 1 year. So don't tell me nothing about LeBron is even close to being on Wilt's level. Right? And truly, I would have Wilt ahead of Jordan if they counted those statistical, if they counted blocks, Wilt would be ahead of Jordan. That's just the way it is. But we got to go with what we got, right? And Wilt was good enough to get number 2 when you put his championships, his finals MVPs, which he should really have too, but they didn't count that until late. His MVPs, his scoring titles, his rebound titles, and assist titles, he's ranked number two. And let me also, if they had Defensive Player of the Year, he's the best player of all time. Right? And that's who, when Jordan came in the league, he had to plot to be better than Wilt. Was LeBron coming into the league saying, "Oh man, look at all them statistical titles he put up, man. I got to be better than that." He wasn't just looking at Wilt's championships. Are you crazy? Yeah, he might have been looking at other guys' championships. Championships are not the all. It's not. It doesn't define you as a player at the end of the day. They're nice. If so, like I said, Russell would be number one. It's about how great of a player you was on that court. So again, yes, do I think Hakeem might be a better player, seriously, than LeBron? But we all know they gifted LeBron 2 to 3 MVPs, especially two when he was on the super team. Now, they try to change this criteria, right? First they say, oh no, it's not about the numbers. It's about who was most valuable to their team, right? And we saw in 2009 and 10 that LeBron had the best record in the NBA, right? He put up good numbers. He got his 2 MVPs. He didn't have a super team. He had an old Shaq. He had an old Ben Wallace, and he still got the number one seed, best record in the league in back-to-back seasons. He goes to Miami with a super team. And then one of those years, he has Ray Allen. He wins MVP 12 and 13. How could that be? If it's about you were the most valuable player to your team, how could that be with a super team like that? They got 3 of the top 10 players in the league at the time on their team. There's no way. You got to be kidding me. In 2012, he only played, what was it, 61 games? He never had 100 blocks. One season, he only had 50 blocks. And he never had 200 steals in any MVP season over there. And if you go watch my video about how the media helped LeBron steal two MVPs in Miami, his stats were worse than his stats in Miami were worse than they were in Cleveland. He had better stats in his 2 MVP seasons in Cleveland than he did in Miami. So no way LeBron is winning MVP in the 90s. He just might not. You ain't gonna pull no sucker move like that and be getting on MVP, right? Yeah, Charles Barkley and them dudes did it with Hakeem. Them dudes was at the end of their career, right? Basically. But for you to be in your prime and you just starting your career, what you like in year 7, 8? So yeah, even when I look at this, it's hard for me. Look, Hakeem, 2 rebound titles, 2 block titles, and 2 Defensive Player of the Years. Should he have more rebound titles? Maybe. But look who he was going against. David Robinson, Dikembe Mutombo with the block titles, Alonzo Mourning, even Kareem back in the day when he first came in, Dennis Rodman with his rebound titles. So the competition was just fierce. And when you look at LeBron's competition, he's supposed to be this great all-around player. He should have more than one scoring title, and he's supposed to be this great passer. Only one assist title? The scoring title came in, if I'm not mistaken, a strike season? And then the assist title came in the bubble season, right? So That's all I can say to the Kobe fans. Do I think Kobe is a better player than LeBron? Of course. That's all I have been doing for years is defending Kobe. But if I change the criteria right here as of what we got right now, it wouldn't be right. Like I said, Kobe probably is a better player than Russell or Magic. But I'm just saying this is an NBA career. And we just can't put championships ahead of the whole NBA career. We got to do the whole nine. MVPs, finals MVPs, um, and statistical titles. And defensive players of the year. There's no award for All-Star. There's no award for All NBA. That's just a selection. So I'm not going to put that stuff in there. So you guys tell me what you think. I mean, I don't know why people just don't understand this. Nobody, Jordan is the best. He has the most. Wilt has the second most. Kareem has the third most. Russell has the fourth most, and then Magic has the fifth most, and then LeBron comes in sixth, and then Kareem. That's all I can do right now. Like I said, if LeBron the allegations come true, he's out. He's out as a sixth spot. He's out. He's out. But for now, that's where he's at. I didn't even believe he would come in number six, but you know, Kobe doesn't have the Finals MVPs, and he doesn't have more statistical titles than LeBron or MVPs. So that's just what it is. Like I said, Kobe had a chance once he separated from Shaq, or he could have got his own team and not went to the Lakers. This is what he chose. What do you want me to do? He could have had more steals titles if he wanted. If he's this great defensive player, and he made 14 defensive teams or something like that, 12. Where's all his steals titles? So, tell me what you think.